So Jacqueline says that she's 3 months out from her most recent concussion and has been doing exercise ever since, which is great. Good for you. Why am I still getting bouts of extreme fatigue? Some days it comes, some days it's not there. Fatigue is a tricky one. There's all sorts of things you have to include, like quality of sleep. Are you sleeping well? I'd have to look at a bunch of different things. But a lot of times, what fatigue is related to or associated with is something called neurofatigue, where everyday activities tend to be more draining for people. So usually, what I'll look at is what's your activity level. Oftentimes with concussion, even though you may be exercising, you may have pulled back on certain things, and so getting back into that, you kind of get out of shape in a way. If I can use that example, let's say you're working every day, you get a concussion, you take some time off work, then going back to work, oftentimes it's more difficult to get back into it because essentially you haven't been working to that level for a long time. If you've been staying and keeping that same level of activity, then it could be some other things. There's one of the things that we actually just wrote a blog on this, and I covered it. I think it was in episode 50 of the podcast. So those that are listening that want to learn a little bit more about it, I did a full episode on neurofatigue. And so I would just encourage you to look at that episode because that might explain some things. But really what it comes down to, I think, in most cases is that I think it's just like overactivation of different brain networks and pathways. And a lot of that is rooted in what's called default mode interference. So, I mean, that's a big, heavy topic to get into, but I did a full episode on neurofatigue on episode 50 of the podcast. So I think that might help you in getting to the answer you're looking for. If not, message me again and we'll talk.